My heart used to be a lighthouse, steady and unshakable, pouring out its light for them through every storm. I was always the one guiding, always the one sacrificing, always the one holding on when no one else did. But one day they extinguished the flame, without hesitation, without shame, without a second thought. I'm Martin, and this is the story of how I walked away from the wreckage of the people I once called my family. I remember the night it truly sank in. I was sunk into my sagging couch in my tiny Philadelphia apartment, the kind of couch that had seen too many late nights, too many coffee stains, too many moments of regret. The place itself smelled faintly of stale coffee and something heavier, like disappointment that had seeped into the walls. Outside, Philly growled and buzzed, sirens screaming in the distance, car horns blaring, street vendors shouting into the night, life turning over and over whether I moved with it or not. But inside? Inside was just me, the hum of a half-broken TV playing some cop drama I wasn't paying attention to, and the cold blue glow of my phone cutting through the dusk. That's when it happened. My phone buzzed, sharp, jarring, like a splinter lodging itself under my skin. It was the family group chat, the same chat that used to be full of harmless clutter. Dad's awful puns that made no one laugh but him. Grace flooding us with vegan dessert recipes none of us ever tried. Liam and Owen fighting over board game nights. Uncle Ray bragging about his fishing trips. It used to feel normal, familiar, safe. But this time, it wasn't a joke or a recipe or a dumb pun. This time, it was my mother. Her name lit the screen, followed by words that hit harder than a fist. Christmas is at our house. Everyone's welcome, except Martin. He's not invited. At first I thought I'd misread. I blinked, reread, scrolled back, reread again. But it didn't change. The words were still there, each one cutting deeper the longer I stared. Everyone's welcome except me. Except Martin. That was my mother's declaration to my entire family. My throat tightened as if I had swallowed glass. I waited for someone, anyone, to push back. But what came next broke me further. Liam, my brother, dropped a thumbs up emoji. Then Owen, another thumbs up. Grace, my sister, same thing. Even Uncle Ray, who could talk for hours about his stupid fishing reels, tapped that little emoji like it was nothing, like my erasure was a normal thing. No one asked why, no one objected, no one even hesitated. They all agreed, silently but clearly, that I was disposable. My fingers trembled as I hovered over the keyboard, typing, deleting, typing again. Every part of me wanted to scream at them, to call them traitors, to demand why my own family had turned on me like this. But in the end, I swallowed the words and sent something simple. Got it. I respect your choice, but you're done seeing me. Respect mine. And then, as if to make sure the knife twisted all the way, they answered with laughing emojis, a storm of them, as though my pain was a joke, as though my absence was entertainment. I let the phone drop onto the couch. The dull thud disappeared into the quiet, but the ache in my chest didn't. It wasn't just anger. It wasn't just betrayal. It was something heavier, something rawer. It felt like grief, like mourning a home I'd never actually had, mourning the idea of a family that had never truly existed. But the truth of it all hadn't started with that text. That message was just the nail in the coffin. The unraveling had started earlier. A month before, I'd walked into Mom's house for our usual Sunday dinner. The air was warm with the smell of cider and fresh bread. I'd been in a good mood for once, landed a new client at work, wearing a new jacket, ready to laugh and eat and feel, just for a moment, like I belonged. Liam, Owen, Grace, even Uncle Ray were all there, voices clashing, glasses clinking, laughter bouncing off the walls. For a while, it felt like old times. And then Dad looked at me, his smile just a little too sharp, like a blade catching light. Martin, he said, we've been planning something. We're all going to Fiji for Christmas. Grace lit up instantly, her voice practically rehearsed. It's perfect, Martin. Overwater bungalows, infinity pools, spa days, snorkeling. It's paradise. It's expensive, but worth every penny. I nodded, trying to keep up with the excitement. That sounds amazing. How much do I owe? That's when they laughed. Not the kind of laugh that warms you. No, this was the kind that freezes you in place, cruel, mocking. Uncle Ray leaned forward, his grin greasy. Oh, Martin, you're not just pitching in, you're covering all of us. I froze, my fork halfway to my mouth. What? Mom spoke like it was the simplest thing in the world. We added it up. For me, your dad, Liam, Owen, Grace, and Ray, it comes to about $24,000. You'll take care of it. $24,000. My ears rang, my heart pounded. Surely they were joking, but their faces weren't joking. They were serious, expectant, hungry. Grace tilted her head, her eyes glinting in a way that made my stomach turn. You can afford it, Martin. I saw your savings once. 140 grand just sitting there. What are you even saving it for? They had already divided my future like vultures around a carcass. They weren't inviting me to a family vacation. They were demanding I fund their luxury getaway. I pushed my chair back, the sound screeching across the floor like a warning siren. I'm not your bank. I'm not your ATM. I'm done funding your fantasy. The air turned cold enough to burn. Dad's eyes narrowed, his voice dropping low. So you're choosing yourself over family? I snapped back before I could stop myself. Family doesn't rob you blind and call it love. The room froze in silence. Dinner ended without another word. I walked out alone, the cold night air slapping me harder than any of their words. That was a month before the text. After that night, there was nothing. No calls, no messages, just a wall of silence. And in that silence, I began to see what I'd been too blind to notice before. Every phone bill I covered for Liam, every gym membership I paid for Owen, every urgent repair I financed for Mom and Dad. I thought it was care. I thought it was love. They thought it was entitlement. And when those laughing emojis flooded the group chat, it became clear I was never their son, never their brother, never their nephew. I was their cash machine. That realization ripped something open inside me, but strangely, it also freed me. I remembered something else too, something from months before. My boss, Claire, had pulled me into her office, her tone warm but firm. Martin, I'm opening a new branch in Austin. I want you to run it. Regional director, big raise, full control, a whole new start. I turned her down because I thought I couldn't leave my family, because I thought they needed me, but they didn't need me. They needed my paycheck. That night, after the laughing emojis burned into my screen, I picked up my phone. It was late, but Claire answered on the second ring. Is the Austin job still open? I asked, my voice unsteady. She paused, then smiled through the line. For you, Martin? Always. And just like that, the weight I had been dragging for years began to slip off my shoulders. I wasn't losing a family. I was letting go of the illusion of one. I wasn't abandoned. I was finally free. And here's what I learned. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away. Not in bitterness, not in anger, not even in pride, but because your heart deserves better than to be a lighthouse for people who would rather stay lost in the dark.